Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nations Cup 17 for the semi-finals between USA and Australia. We are right now here at the second match in this best of 3 series. And let's just, before we get into this match, let's just recap what has happened until now. For the first match, which was played on Kingdom Hearts 6 in Team Survivor, of course the map of choice of Australia. Australia started off really well, actually. Really, it nearly looked as if it was impossible for USA to actually make a comeback. But USA really did that. After taking one little break, USA had switched their strategy to something completely different, adapting to Australia's strategy and actually not only tying it up, but actually getting one round in the lead before Australia began getting everything back again. The thing that USA did was that they realized how important the middle was. And then on top of that, they also began being much more aggressive. Actually, USA started off being very defensive, while Australia were the ones that were actually pushing in and being much more aggressive. But then USA just began rushing, actually. Not just pushing, but rushing. And that worked really well. It was a 7-round win streak or even more. And then also, as I said, they not only tied it up but actually got in the lead. But Australia adapted then and took the win just late enough to actually get it done. So, with that, we are right now here at Abbey, being capture the flag. The map of choice, obviously, of USA, since, well, they're the only ones left here. But everyone should probably expect this to be pretty much a slaughter, since Australia has really not shown any willingness to play or any skills at playing capture the flag. But because even though that you can read up on the strategies and everything, you still have to understand the flow and just getting into it before you can really do anything. So even if their skills are high, because as we can see they did some really incredible shots on Kingdom, and even though that they have probably know the basics of capture the flag, they don't have the experience of USA in this game mode. So everyone should probably expect this to be a slaughter, though I would love Australia to show that I'm wrong. And should it actually be that USA should win this map, then we are going to go further into Dust 2 version 2, being bomb mode, obviously. So if Australia doesn't win on Abbey, then they can come back on this map and maybe get the win here. Actually, everyone would probably have expected Dust 2 being the map that everything comes down to. So let's just look at the map that we are playing here, Abbey on Capture the Flag. And there's one thing that I want to start off with when analyzing this map. That is the fact that the middle, that is the central room in this case, on this map, is much more important for map control than on any other map in Capture the Flag. For example, if we look at Turnpike, we have defenders and attackers, two separate groups actually. They don't really do anything together. Defenders only push towards Metro. They don't really push much further. And attackers just push down, get the flag and get it back. The only interaction there is only between them is actually the guy in the middle who's trying to keep the middle and supporting either side that needs it. So that is not the case here. The middle here is not just someone who can support either side. The middle is much more important and much more important. There's no better word for it really here. Not only is it because it's the wet side's attack path together with the tunnel, but also because even though if the wet attackers cannot move out and are stuck in the central room, then the fact that the blue defenders isn't in the central room means that the wet defenders would have a much easier time pushing out and actually getting into the courtyard, into actually being able to look down onto the courtyard and being at the cathedral area. And when the wet defenders are there, then they can support the wet attackers. Meaning, if so long as the wet defenders actually are pushing out and not kept back, then they are actually helping the attackers. So it's much more interaction between all sides here on this map. Also on the same way the blue side goes, because the blue defenders are going to try and see if they can capture the central room. And should it be that they actually can do that, then the blue defenders can, even though not to the extent that the red defenders would, but they would still be able to support the blue attackers from the cathedral area. And because of that, really you have to see a much more bigger focus on the middle, and that is something that I hope Australia is realizing with this map, and that they just don't think they have to go for a 2-1-2 split between all the people, and to actually have to try and get map control here. And with that said, let's just get straight into the game. The thing that everyone really wants here. And 14, 13, 12, and 11 seconds left. The game is going to start very soon. Is this going to be the slaughter that everyone expects, or is Australia going to get something magically out of a hat? Well, we'll just have to see. The game has at least started. Tarquin here with a nade through into the tunnel, and being a little bit more defensive before going in and getting killed by Fragnet. Also, the American defenders have actually pushed out, and a lot of from USA were actually dead there, but Australia weren't really able to capitalize on that because most of Australia were also dead on the same time. Howard just got killed as he moved in through the tunnel here. Fragnetic trying to see if he can defend against any intrusion from the tunnel area, but actually leaving the central room open in the meantime. Cam was actually moving far out and getting a lot of kills here from the defending point. Loki also now from the defenders area actually moving into the blue flag, and with that USA is on top of the blue flag, and Australia is in no way able to retrieve this. This is a very safe flag for USA to take home with a capture time of 7 seconds, and only after 1 minute. That is the first flag for USA. And the second flag has already been taken and still not retrieved by Australia. However, trying here to see if he can actually flank here, but getting killed by Tarquin. Even though that he was actually getting from behind. Kabar trying to go in through the central room, but getting killed by Davos. So actually it seems like Australia has now actually the control over the central room, which is really good for them. And also they have killed a lot from the defense here. Australia actually is looking pretty well here, but still Moscow Jones hasn't flagged and has moved into the central room and is also supported by several other Americans in the meantime, so he can easily get back, and even though he didn't have the stamina for it, still got the flag cap immediately, and Cameras has the second flag for 6 seconds later to capture for the third flag for USA. 2 minutes in, a 3-0 for USA. Maybe actually a little bit more than anyone would actually have expected. Moscow Jones trying to get the fourth flag here, but getting killed by Howler. Infamate getting some good work done, trying to push back here the American defenders, making it possible for Australia actually to get their defense up and running. Scott's getting killed by cameras up at the flag area here. They were trying to push into the central room and getting Kabar killed. And also now reinforcing here on the tunnel and his flag and defending that. Like that. Actually, even though it may seem needed, that was actually probably the wrong play, giving up on the central room. Loki, a little bit reluctant there to actually shoot, but he still got the kill. More from Australia killed, but while the blue flag has been taken, Cameras already on top of for the next flag grab here. Kabar, though, not really getting the jump here done, so it's going to take... Cameras was actually a little bit in a spot. He couldn't have been killed in the meantime. But Cameras gets the fifth flag here after a 5-second flag grab. That team kill was good if you look at the wave, but it wasn't really something that he probably would have done. Or have wanted to do. Tarquin here again in the tunnel trying to push in. Not really seeing anyone, so he's moving in. Not getting anyone killed, but Kabar does, so he's just going to support it while another flag grab is going to be taken here. Shan's going to try and move in through the cathedral. And actually also getting a lot of people killed. Kabar now trying to get the flag, or get the capture here, and also gets it too. So that's a 7-0 for USA, and Australia slowly seems to move further in. Though it seems also like USA is actually picking up the pace here. So even though Australia seems to be much more aggressive and much further or much closer to the flag. Yeah, that's the word. Much closer to the flag. It still doesn't seem like it's actually the thing that they want to do here. It seems like they have to focus on their defense before anything else. If you can get your defense up and going, then you can get your attackers up and going. As I said, your defense can really first work when you have the central room, when your defense is actually working properly. So that is really what Australia has to do. They have to focus more on the central room. And yes, Fragnetic is in there, but he's the only one from Australia right now alive within the next 2 seconds. And there's 3 other Americans here, and all of them is around the central room. Maybe Loki is going to be killed since Fragnetic is just out of the door going to kill him. But he cannot really capitalize on that, and he is probably going to be killed before anything else can be done. As we can see, Tarquin is, even though he doesn't have much stamina, he's still very close to the flag, so he could probably also kill 1 or 2 defense people from Australia. Defenders. There you go. For some reason, I can't remember what our terms are here. Man, oh well. I think that is really what Australia has to do. USA, they're doing pretty much what they have to do. Getting one flag grab after the other. They are denying any establishment of a defense from Australia. And even though that it seems like Australia had the timeout here, it seems like USA also needs to have something fixed here. Maybe it's again Moscow Jones having some technical issues. But I think right now, from this wave, there's probably not going to be anything that is going to happen. Tarquin won't be able to get the flag and get out of there before any Australians are going to be able to kill him. But yeah, that's the kill by Fragnetic, even though Cameras actually did it for him already. But Fragnetic actually doing a really good job keeping the central room here. Really important thing here. But moving back out again, that is the thing that I disagree with here. They have to keep the central room in, getting a lot of shots off here on the statue, and also some others on another American defender, but getting killed by Cameras, and Loki still moving in, but getting killed by Cameras as a team kill just for the extra HP. Chance getting one American killed and trying to move on top of the flag actually, but getting killed by Kabar in the central room. As we can see, the central room is just so important. Especially also because from the red side you can also support the defenders as the attacker. And Fragnetic kills Kabar actually, maybe shutting down the flag grab here from USA. This suicidal nade was keeping the flag grab away for a little time, but sadly it was killing 2 Australians here, meaning that they couldn't really keep the flag here, and that is another flag grab or flag capture for America, making it 8-0, and Kabar has already taken another flag again. Howard sitting on the flag now, but getting killed immediately, but that was the first time Australia has actually touched the flag here, and that is a 12-second capture by America here. Chance trying to see if he can get the flag, but the flag has been retrieved by Kabar. Fragnetic still doing a really good job here in the defense, but getting killed by Cameras. The rest of USA are again moving in on top of the flag, but not really able to get anything done. Cameras trying to see if he can get the flag and moving out through the tunnel, though he doesn't have much HP, getting killed by Tarquin, who takes the flag and moves further out. Though he has been hunted down in the tunnel, as more Australians are moving in through there. Cameras is now taking the flag, going through the central room and back into the spawn area. Pragmatic, though, also now has just gotten the American flag, meaning it's now a hot potato time here. 1 minute until the flags are going to explode if not either team are going to be able to retrieve it. Howler here trying to see if he can get into the spawn area, getting the flag here. He finds the flag and just barely as he actually moves, he just barely before he dies gets the flag back. And that is the first flag capture of Australia actually. Really, congratulations, it's a 9-1 to Australia. Okay, maybe we should have the sarcasm away here, but still, really well done. Getting a hot potato out of there and actually just retrieving the flag, really well done. Let's celebrate that with a poem, shall we? Yeah, I'm not kidding. I've been bored, so I have some poems ready for you. Finally, Australia flag has claimed. More to follow, or they will still just be maimed. It's hard to bear, the end's not near, but their final fate is very clear. As it is now already an 11-1 for USA. Say, I even got the poem woven into the commentary here. Well done. Thank you. So, we see here Cameras was reinforcing the defense here and getting a lot of Australians killed, though just before the wave hits. So, though he just got Davo killed and actually hit, throwing him out for the next 10 seconds there, which is a really good thing. And Howler also now dead for the next West and Inf 2. Now is the time that Australia should try and get onto the flag here. Cameras killing another Australian, but the wave hasn't just hit, and all from Australia are now back into the waves here. And the defense has again been established, though USA, with Muscat Jones being the very last one, are still getting the flag out of there through the central room. And no Australian is going to be able to actually pursue him, as the only Australian was down at the tunnel area. Muscat Jones, not really wanting to move out before he's sure that he can do it, gets the flag capture but gets killed by Cameras too, just before the wave hits. They were trying to see if he can get in through the tunnel, but gets greeted by 2 Americans and gets killed immediately by Tarquin with 1 HP. Muscat Jones moved further in after killing Tarquin. And Kabao with the flag gets ready for another capture with a beautiful jump here. Misses it and has to take the long route. And the flag capture is again done with 13-1 here. With 1 minute left. Not much can be done really by Australia. Even on the second round, they can't really do much here. But they are still very much fighting, doing a really stellar job, killing a lot of people. I mean, they probably I'm not really surprised if they would have the most kills here. But that is not important, as it is only the flag captures. And they got a second one, but that is still 11 to go if they want to tie this match up here. And with 20 seconds, that is certainly not going to happen in this first round. Getting killed as he tries to move up to the flag area here. They were trying to get in from behind and trying to get back with 8 seconds left. Gets killed, or not gets killed, but gets hit in the knee. And his flag is also dropped just after he gets killed. And he doesn't just get the flag delivered. And with that, we have 14-2, if I remember correctly. 13-2, sorry. That's, yeah. 13-2. Australia, even though that they had some flag captures in the end, it just seemed more like luck than anything else, to be honest. It seemed like they just tried to kill everyone from America and try to see if they can get the flag at some point, but not really understanding when or where they can, when they can actually get map control and how they should do so. And what else has been the problem here for Australia? Not really that much. It has really been the central room. We have, for example, seen Pragmatic moving in, killing a lot of Americans, and establishing control over the central room. Control room, that is probably what it should have been called, but control over the central room. And that is probably one big reason why Australia has had such a big trouble here. Also, just because they have had big problems in their defense, and the attackers didn't try to reinforce the defense before trying to move out, which is something you have to do. You have to build your defense up, And you may have to do that as 4 people, but when it is established, then you can just remove the extra people and put them on the attackers part. It's not like anything will happen because of that. The other defenders would be able to get into a position that is impossible to get back from. Not really. So the attacker should be able to get that done easily. So that is probably the 2 problems that Australia has had here. Not going for the central room and not having a proper defense established. So let's see if Australia is actually able to get this thing back onto the road. But really, what is happening here is just another poem. The land down under is going through a massive slaughter. Every flag making them go more underwater. Keeping morale high is a must. Keep on no matter the cost, as all their hopes now is in the dust. See there what I did there? Well, we have 9 minutes and 45 seconds left for this second round. USA has very strong defense, even though keeping Australia back in the central room. Shan's trying to move in through the tunnel here, getting a lot of warning shots off, but not really getting anything done as the American doesn't want to show. And USA has actually now begun moving on top of the flag very fast here. Though all of a sudden, as it's very silent. Shan's moving and getting 1 American killed, but Tarquin picks him off. However, on the defense, getting a lot of shots off on an American, but not getting him killed, and now also has to reinforce on the tunnel. And the Americans, Moscow Jones has the red flag, but gets killed. Cameras tries to reinforce, but it gets also killed. Loki, as the last one alive here, is greeting the wave of Australia and getting killed immediately. Shan's now moving in through the tunnel and just bypassing the nade, killing 1 American, but gets killed by Tarquin again, which then also kills 1 from the central room, throwing a nade in, keeping them back. And now, again, ready for defending from the tunnel. Getting a lot of shots off on Shan's, but getting killed. And Shan's now tries to move further in. He hasn't been killed in the meantime. And getting Loki killed, but Cameras kills him in the end. Howler now takes the flag and also goes back through the central room. Well done, really well done. Gets Cameras on the way in the central room. And this may actually be the first flag for Australia here on this very first, in the second round. They are actually in the lead on this round alone. It's still a 13-3, but they are still a little bit they're still in the lead somewhat. At least they can pat themselves on the back for that. A wonderful nade by Cameras here, picking them off just after the nades after the wave has hit. And also now backstabbing the defense, getting Infmate killed, but getting killed by Shans immediately. But I really like what Australia did there. That seemed like a really well coordinated attack, which is really what they need. And still, USA has actually not been able to do that much on this round alone. They are very defensive, actually, or just push much further back than last time. And it isn't because this is just Australia on the wet side. This map isn't that imbalanced, so there's gotta be more to it than just this. Either Australia has actually figured out what they have to do, or they only know how to play on the wet side, or or USA has been slacking on this round, just thinking that they actually already have the win. But in the meantime, America has already gotten the first flag here, and Kibar tries to get the second flag, but tying this round up alone, making it a 14-3. As Chance getting an 18 on Loki and trying to see if he can get the rest of the defense off. But Tarquin, being in a really good spot, tries to get also Fragnetic killed, but Cameras picks him off, picks Fragnetic off just after Tarquin gets killed. Australia now with another push after all of USA has been killed. They should be able to do something. They had still 3 Australians alive at that point. They should have been able to capitalize on that before USA would have been able to get out of again. That nade though, that has stopped any push this round. Though Howler though was actually able to do what Chance wasn't. A nade by Devo actually shuts down the defense here from being able to retrieve anything. Though Moscow Jones, from the attacker's points, has actually been able to just shut the second flag capture just before they actually capture it, and then also retrieving the Australian flag, getting it back home, making it actually now again USA in the lead here for a total of 15-3. Still, a lot of people are getting killed. The flag has again been being thrown around. It's now still very far into the defense, but Fragnetic, as the very last one alive in here, the Maple courtyard, is going to retrieve the flag, but not trying to move in as the wave just hits, throwing a nade in, trying to see if he can weaken the defense, but nearly not getting anything done and getting killed immediately, meaning that USA is able to really establish the defense again. And Kabar trying to push in, but getting killed by Infmate here. Moscow Jones killing Fragnetic from behind and moving further in onto the flag, getting also Inf killed. And also getting one other killed who's in the central room, but getting attention because of that actually. And because of that getting killed as he gets hit in the leg and can't jump away anymore. I would actually just have jumped away there. Flags are trying to be taken from either side, but nothing is really happening. We are still here, 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, and Australia seems here to actually be pushing in again and slowly getting on top of the flag here again. Maybe. It seems to me at least like USA is not that far to the flag area. Or in their own marble courtyard. Though I may just have misread that because Australia hasn't gotten the flag until now, so yeah. Sorry. Australia trying to push in again, but also getting Kabar killed, and Moscow Jones actually getting a team kill, which is very surprising right in a push, and that meant that they didn't have the firepower that would have been needed to actually get the flag defended, and that is probably the second flag capture for Australia. Yes, that is a 2-2 at 3 minutes and 43 seconds left. But USA just after that kills everyone from Australia, gets the flag for a 3-2. Even though they pretty much have to win anyway, they don't want to even lose this round. That is beneath their dignity. Australia now again into the central room, which is good for them. Getting a lot of shots off on Loki and getting him killed also in the end. And now also reinforcing the defense. Not really what you want to do as the attackers, but if your defense is not holding up, that is what you gotta do. Good play, but getting killed immediately, sadly. Tarquin getting killed as he tries to move in. West of USA also, actually. That attack by USA has actually been shut down because of that. But Australia haven't been able to punctuate on that, trying to get into a good position here. Except for Chance going through the tunnel again and trying to see if he can get on top of the flag, but also getting killed by Cameras, who goes into the tunnel and gets ready for a second push by Chance, who already has gotten all the way down to 5 HP. Kabar now also kills him. Loki again defending the flag from Howler, and also helping Tarquin here getting back into it, but sadly too late. But luckily Loki can keep the defense all by himself, killing also Chance, and Cameras killing Devo, and now USA has the central room and us helping in on the attackers here. While trying to push in through on top of the flag, but getting pushed back together with Moscow Jones by Fragnetic and Inf, who are now actually trying to see if they can help Devo getting the flag back. He is already in the central room, though he has been hit a lot, so he can't really get much further than getting around the corner, doing a beautiful jump, and also getting the flag captured. Not the fastest, but a very safe way to do it. I really like that. And Chance already with the second flag capture, making it a 4-4 now, and tying this round up alone. But still, very much, they would still have to go for 11 flags to actually get this thing back. Something that is really impossible with only 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Chance here trying to see if he can defend here a little bit. Not getting any hits here to the cathedral. but keeping cameras away from backstabbing them all, also killing Loki, and getting the flag, and moving back through the central room. This may be the very last flag capture here, if we look at this statistically, because there's only 50 seconds left. Probably no other flag capture is going to happen. At least at what the speed is right now. Pragmatic trying to see if he can push in through the cathedral here. Actually, the defense of the USA didn't seem to be really that spot on. I couldn't see any from America on the flag. So maybe if Australia can actually get another flag capture here. They still have 20 seconds left, so they could still do it. At least just to win this round. A little bit more than just by 1 point. Australia trying here to push in through the central room, but not really getting anything done as they are getting killed by cameras, and the GGs are being called as there's only 0 seconds left for a 5-4 on this very second round on the second match, meaning that the end score is now I have to do math, damn it. 17-7. Yeah, a 17-7. Meaning that America wins this whole match very, very convincingly. And that has really just been down to a very weak defense by Australia in the first round. I am not so sure why Australia was all of a sudden very successful in the second round. I really would say that it's probably just because USA is a little bit slacking here, and not because that Australia's all of a sudden figured out how to play capture the flag. So, yeah, as you can see, knowing the game type and knowing how the map is very important for the game type is crucial to actually winning your map here. Which USA knew how to play Abbey because they have played that thing a lot, and they just know how to play capture the flag. Australia doesn't, and they may not even have had any wish to try. Maybe that sounds a little bit rude, though. But that means, on the other hand, that we are going to see the yes match, which is also always something that you want to see, right? We always want to see as many matches as humanly possible being played in a best of 3 or best of 5 or whatever. So, as I said, this ace match, man, I can't even talk. This ace match is going to be on Dust 2. So, Australia is probably going to be in a much better time on Dust, since it's going to be bump mode, something that is much more similar to Team Survivor. But USA, on the other hand, is also still very good at Team Survivor, and Dust 2 is a map that is very well known, and the strategies are very much figured out also for bump mode, even though that is something that may not be played that much. So, thank you for watching. We'll be back soon. Don't go anywhere.